Moving on, Burkina Faso says it has foiled a fresh assassination plot targeting its junta leaders. Authorities say the plan was set for January 3rd, with the prime target being the head of state, Captain Ibrahim Tratore. Officials claim the attempt was part of a broader effort to topple the government and throw the country back into instability.
On January 3rd, 2026, at 11 p.m., a plan was in place to destabilize the country. This was to be carried out through a series of targeted assassinations of civilian and military authorities, beginning with the neutralization of Comrade Captain Ibrahim Tratore, head of state, President of Faso, either at point-blank range or by an operation to mine his residence.
And Burkina Faso security minister says the man behind the latest plots is a familiar name. It's Paul-Henri Sandaogo Damiba, the same general Traoré ousted from power in 2022. Damiba has been living in exile in Togo. He allegedly orchestrated the plan, raised funds and recruited both civilians and soldiers for the attempted coup. Officials also claim that Ivory Coast financed the attempted takeover.
A large portion of the funding comes from Ivory Coast, whose most recent operation amounts to $125,000. So, I would also like to point out that arrests are ongoing, as is the dismantling of the networks.
Ivory Coast are yet to comment on these accusations. But Burkina Faso officials say intelligence services intercepted video footage showing suspects discussing how they plan to kill Traoré and other senior officials. They allege that after the assassinations, the plan was to disable Burkina Faso's drone launch base to prevent a military response, before foreign forces could move in on the ground. Authorities say the threat has been neutralised and security around key leaders has now been tightened. This was not an isolated incident. Reports suggest that since taking office in 2022, Traoré has survived at least 18 assassination or coup attempts, with some sources estimating it as high as 30. But the irony is hard to miss. Traoré himself came to power through a military coup. In September 2022, at just 34 years of age, he overthrew Damiba amid public anger over a surge in terrorist attacks that had killed thousands and displaced millions of people. Since then, Traoré has moved quickly to consolidate his power. He has distanced Burkina Faso from France and deepened cooperation with Russia. He has joined Mali and Niger to form the Alliance of Sahel States. His government has expanded state control over strategic sectors including mining and drone operations, framed as a push for national sovereignty. Critics, however, accuse the regime of silencing media, arresting dissenters, and in some cases forcing journalists, activists and medics to the front lines as punishment to fight terrorists. Rights groups say repression has deepened since the coup, with no room for criticism of the government. Despite that, Traoré continues to command strong support, especially amongst the youth. His pan-African message and rejection of Western influence have resonated with a generation that feel abandoned by traditional leaders. With another reported plot now foiled, Burkina Faso's leadership says it remains in control. For now, Captain Ibrahim Traoré holds the power.